Welcome back, friends. This is Solomon Jagwe. I'm back with another quick insight. So, guys, I've had a chance, to look at a Dream Machine. I'd seen it online. I'd seen a number of these videos that it has created, and people have used it, but I hadn't had a chance to truly take it through the paces and share my thoughts. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through what I was able to create. And you can see some of the behind the scenes here of the shots that I was able to generate. And I tried to do this without using Midjourney. I wanted to see if I could actually use ChatGPT to be able to create this shot right here. So let me play this shot real quick so you can hear what it sounds like, and then we'll dive into it.
Once upon a time, in a cluttered workshop, an elderly inventor named Mugumu tirelessly worked on a sleek, metallic robotic leg for his grandson, Alex, who was born with a problem with his legs that made it impossible to walk without crutches. Alex eagerly tried the leg, feeling a surge of hope as it responded to his movements. With months of dedicated training and fine-tuning, the duo tackled every challenge, adjusting the leg to perfect its functionality. As the Paralympic trials approached, Alex's determination grew. On the big day, he stood at the starting line, his robotic leg shining, with Mugumu's encouraging thumbs up from the sidelines. The race began, and Alex felt like he was flying, the robotic leg moving seamlessly with his body. He crossed the finish line to a roaring crowd, his heart filled with joy and accomplishment. Rushing to his grandfather, Alex embraced him, their faces beaming with pride and love. Mugumu, tears in his eyes, told Alex how proud he was. Together, they stood on the track, ready to face whatever challenges the future held. Their bond and achievements.
So guys, that's what I was able to create using Luma Dream Machine. And as you've noticed, there are a number of issues with this whole clip. There are issues with the legs, with the arms, and but overall, you can see how if you give the platform the right prompts, that you're able to get some sense of a story being told. But then there are some other issues where, like right here, for example, you can see issues of the legs not working properly. And here, for example, it struggles with the left and right arm. And the background, you can see it does a good job of them, but it struggles with characters a lot, right? So I wanted to walk you through how I was able to get to this point, like from the beginning to the end, to the point where I was able to actually do the audio part of it. And I didn't want to do narration for the voice of do the facial animation, because I just wanted to do a quick test to see how well this was going to look, right? And so let me click out of here and let me show you some of the behind the scenes of where we are. So these are the different shots that I was able to generate, and it helps to plan ahead, right? To have a story in mind. So the way I approached this was to go to ChatGPT, right? And I'm using ChatGPT 4, and then there's a little O over there. And then just simply start with a script, like a story of some kind. So for example, let's just come up with I say, write a short story of a blind mouse that went into the city for a job. Okay, and press enter and let ChatGPT do its part. And this is the part where I know that I'm even concerned about it, because it's creating this story, but we don't know what the data set is. We don't know if this was based on someone's writing that was already out there in the wild. So I don't know. I've just come up with an idea of I want a story of a blind mouse that went into the city for a job. And this is what it was able to spit out. So once upon a time, in a quiet corner of the countryside, lived a blind mouse named Milo. Now, I didn't come up with a name. I didn't give it a name. It just came up with its own name. So I don't know if Milo is even based on a story character somewhere. So this is the issue. Just as you're writing this, as you're creating this, just be cognizant of the fact that this could be copyright, may have copyright issues. Okay. So, but because I just wanted to do again a test of Luma Dream Machine, right, to show how I was able to generate this story right here, we're gonna use this right here as the basis of our story, right? And so we have different parts of this that could become visuals. So, I mean, you could go through and animate every single part of it, but you may not even have to. But what is really cool is that you can also have this read aloud. So now I'm using OBS to record this. So if I'm recording this, I can actually save the audio. And so let's play this back so you can hear it.
Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of the countryside, lived a blind mouse named Milo. Milo had always been a dreamer, longing for the excitement and opportunities the city promised. Despite his blindness, Milo was determined to find a job and prove that he could be as capable as any other mouse. One crisp morning.
So there you have it. You have audio that you're going to be able to use in your story, and you have the script. The next part will be to generate the images, and usually at this stage, most people use Midjourney or other generative AI platforms, but we're going to use ChatGPT. And with that, you have to go to explore the GPTs, and in here search for consistent character GPT, fast and high quality. So people are building these GPTs that are making it easier to extend ChatGPT, so you're able to do this. So once you have it installed, it's going to look like this. It will be on the left hand shelf, and so here is where you start, right? And once I found it and clicked on that, it's gonna tell you some of the things that it's gonna be able to do, right? And then you're able to click on Start Chat, right? And if you want to start creating characters, you can do that. This is like it's supposed to be consistent character GPT, because the idea, again, is for you to have a sense of like this is the same character through the shots. It doesn't always do a good job, but that's what you can start with. Now, while I was testing this out, and there was a part that I think it was the same gentleman who's also working on a newer consistent image generation. So there's another one that he's working on, but you can see how many conversations people have used this for, right? And it works with DALL-E, which is really cool. So let's go back to here, and we're going to click here to start, right? And it's going to ask you some questions. And great, let's get started with creating your character design. First, should the character be male or female? So let's say the mouse is a little guy, right? So I'll say a little boy mouse with, let's just say a little boy mouse. It would be a little girl mouse, right? So let's give this little boy mouse a name. What would you like to call him? So, well, the story over here, that the one we created, let me actually move this over here, is Milo, right? This is the story that we were given by ChatGPT. So we'll go back and call him Milo, and we'll wait for it to start like the next part. So great choice. Now, could you provide some details about Milo? For example, his age, country, hair, fur, color, and any other specific features you have in mind, right? So the reason it's going through this, at least what I've experienced so far, is that it wants to create a character that then when you start prompting, it will use the same image to create the shots that follow after that. So that's why at this stage, you're like almost talking as an art director to an art team, giving them instructions on what the characters are supposed to be. It's like a brainstorming session between you and this consistent character GPT, or ChatGPT. So we'll say, for example, brown, maybe black and orange fur, with a little cap on his head, and maybe a little backpack, and maybe big ears, right? So, and he is a little teenage mouse, right? So it wants to know age, country, hair, fur color, outfit, and man. Maybe we call it, give him a little, what do you call it? Like maybe overalls with patches, green color, overalls. All right. So you can go crazy with that part and you can be as descriptive as you want, but let's just move forward. And this is amazing because I'm not using ChatGPT, rather, I'm not using Midjourney. This is working together with DALL-E to generate this image. So you could actually literally stay here so that you get consistent images without having to. So look at that. It looks cool. I like him. I like him. Okay. So I'll get started on that right away. Please hold on for a moment. So that's what he gave us. The overalls look great. The backpack, the ears. He's a nice looking little dude. So here's the first image. So what we need to expression, action, pose. So what would you like to vary in the next image, for example? Yeah. So I would like to have a full body shot. Create a full body shot of Milo and be intentional in starting to talk about the character's name so the conversation can stay consistent. And yeah, let's just do that for now. That's what he does. Full body shot. So I'll get started on that right away. Please hold on for a moment. And what's amazing is that how fast this is being generated, because I thought that it would take forever. And there's our little Milo guy. Awesome. And so this is what I was telling you about that. So as much as this one can be consistent, but look what it did though, guys. Look at the top. It's Disney Milo. So you get like this copyright issue that I was talking about, right? So be very careful, guys, as you're working with this, because whatever you create, and remember, it's not going to be copyright. I don't think you'll be able to copyright it because already I see it's picking up a resemblance of Disney characters out there. Okay. And so, and it changed Milo tiny bit. This is his face. Okay, that's good. All right. But just so you know, this is what we're able to get from him. And you can actually download it if you want. And it downloads a .webp file format. WEBP. Yeah. Web format. But you can rename that to a .jpg. Okay. All right, so we have that image, and because you're gonna need that image to take to Luma Dream Machine. Okay. All right. So one full control of your consent. Then they talk about this wait list of this new platform they're working on. All right. Now let's proceed with another variation. What would you like to change next? For example, expression, action. So let's say Milo looking sad as he's walking through the city. And let's see what he does. Oh, one thing that I forgot to do is you need to indicate if you're going to be rendering this in like for video. I should have said that the aspect ratio needs to be 16:9, right? But you can see this changed. It didn't do consistently the same look. So you can actually instruct it and say, make Milo look like he did before in his overall appearance, and use aspect ratio of 16:9 because we want to render this for video, like want it landscape. We're gonna be I don't know if it will do it, but let's see. Waiting for it, because there was really a big shift in the look, right? And the outfit changed as well, so it's not staying true, but this is much better. Okay, that is much better, although I mean he has like a few furry hairs here. He doesn't have it, but at least it went back to the look and feel of this the original Milo. Okay. Would you like more? If so, let me know. Okay. Now is the chance for you to take your story, the those different parts of the story, to then create the shot. So once upon a time, in a quiet corner of a countryside lived a mouse. So what literally, if this is a shot we want, I can actually copy this, go back to our consistent ChatGPT over here, and then we'll say, create a shot of this using Milo, right? And again, let's generate that just for the kicks. And so the idea again is for you to think of this story as the narration is progressing. You want to be able to create key moments, and then so look at that. So that's a shot, right? So as you can see, I went through as I was going through. I started here. This was an establishing shot, and then I thought of like a billboard, and there was another billboard that I tried but didn't work out. So as you're going through your story, think of the progression of the shots so that then the Luma Dream Machine will be able to animate it, and you'll be able to put it to the audio itself. Okay, so this part, let's see, make Milo look like he did before in his appearance. It seems like I need to keep saying that so that the consistency, because it keeps forgetting what Max, or rather, sorry, not Max, what Milo looked like, because I want to retain this appearance. So, and then it didn't do it. So be careful as you're writing this, that as the shots come through. But anyway, let's just go forward so you get now you get a chance of, a sense of what it's like. So we'll go to the next shot, copy, go to consistent over here, create a shot of Milo with the way it looked before with this setting. Okay, creating a shot of Milo with the way he looked before with this setting. So let's try again. I forgot to say aspect ratio 16:9. So those are some of the pitfalls that I've been encountering, is that every now and then I have to keep it's almost like you need to have like a notepad with instructions to yourself to know what you need to stay consistent with, like aspect ratio, and then the things that need to stay consistent within the shots. But let's see what it does. Okay, good. So now, guys, you start to see how it's coming together, right? And you can do variations of this. So I can say, do another shot of the above shot with a different camera angle. So now it's almost like you're art directing in your brain, thinking of what else Milo could be doing, right? Now he lost his hat. And that's a challenge of Gen AI, because so that now this looks more like what it should have been before, but now we're starting to see Milo. Okay, keep this style and create another camera angle with Milo looking in wonder at the skyline, at the city. So it's like having a conversation. It's like having a conversation with an artist, but unfortunately, sometimes with AI, there are certain things that it just doesn't keep consistent, right? But now you're starting to see a little bit of this, right? So as you're writing your story, as you're going through the story itself, step by step, try to draw little things from here and there, and include that in your shorts as you go forward. So let me go ahead and download this, and let's download this, and we're going to download this as well, and we're going to download that. Okay, these are the shorts that I've been able to download. So let me go gather them. So I've collected the images that I've downloaded from my downloads folder into this project folder here. So I'll copy the link of that, the folder location. And now, so assuming that you've gone through and you're happy with how everything looks, and guys, this is not Mid-Journey. This is all within ChatGPT using consistent character GPT. And of course, I think it was working with DALL-E. So we have our story, right? We have our audio. We have the shots that we are working with. Now it's time to go to Luma Dream Machine over here, right? So let's create a new one. So due to high demand, we're temporarily limiting free tiers. So if you have a free tier account, I didn't even talk about that initially, but this, I had to sign up for a paid account so that I could actually speed this up, because without that paid account, it was taking a very long time to be able to create shots, right? And so I'll go ahead and create. We're trying to do a new project. Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll just continue here. And we're going to go ahead and bring up our shot. So we'll start with Max, or rather Milo. I keep calling him Max. And so here we're going to say camera smoothly zooming in slowly to focus on the character, let's be descriptive, mouse character, and the little mouse is smiling towards the camera. This is again just little descriptive little things. You have to be intentional when you're doing this. And with ears wiggling. All right. And let's go ahead and press that. So wait for it to generate that. So as you go through, this is the process that I went through, guys. And you can see the different parts the different prompts. So camera zooms in slowly and smoothly, has little boy in robotic smiles, waves, But here you can see, like, when you don't put a lot of like details, it kind of struggles, gets up and continues running towards the camera. But that was a previous shot and it changed the character, right? So this process will take, depending on, again, on the account that you got, it depends on how much detail that you've given the platform. But I'm going to let it sit here for a second so you get a sense of how long this takes, right? And as you can see here, due to high demand, they were temporarily limiting free tiers to 5 generations a day. So there's big demand, and there's a long line of people who are generating the same thing. And I can imagine the cost that they're incurring is in these servers, like they have to use like extremely powerful GPUs for this to be able to be processed in, like, for, if you're going to turn around and say they have millions of subscribers, right? It's going to be heat heavy by all these multiple generations. But while it's doing that, let's talk about this. So some of the shots are really like, is it finished? Okay, it's in queue right now. So wait for that. And while that is in queue, we can actually go ahead and add another shot. So we'll do this one. Maybe, no, let's try Let's try this one, right? And we're gonna say camera. And actually, you can see some of the things that I was doing over here. Like if I see a prompt that worked really well, especially with the camera zoom, like see how gentle that is. So I can actually copy this part right here. Let's copy that. And then go back up here and reuse that. So camera slowly and smoothly tracks the little mouse character as he walks slowly through the city looking scared. And you can even say, you can add like maybe beautiful lighting just for kicks. And then we'll go ahead and press play. So here you can see the generations that are left. So as you're planning out your shorts, once you have your story here, make sure that you don't maybe you're judicious about, like, try to be mindful about the shots that you're going to have. So I have 115 left. I want to have maybe a story that is maybe like 7 shots, right? So just plan it out accordingly as you're looking at your story. Plan out so that you know the number of shots, and it's going to be like about 5 seconds long. So just keep that in mind, like what shots need to be. It's almost like creating a comic book or writing a book, and you're thinking of how many pages are going to be illustrated and how many pages are going to be text. Essentially, with this, it's going to be how much time is going to be on the screen, balanced with how many like generations you have left. Because if you don't have enough left, you won't be able to create a successful shot. I used multiple shots here, and some of them were successful, some were not. But I chose to be very like mindful about the shots that I wanted to use, and not just go crazy trying to generate. I had to think carefully what shots could work. Now, this one I would have wanted to regenerate because of the problem with the legs. But as you can see, there's this shot. That's the last shot. And this is the establishing shot. I'd wanted actually to have like a fly into the landscape. So you could actually switch it out if you want. But this was going to be with the credits. This is going to be with the opening, right? And this was going to be the part that like this, the next after this was going to come this shot. So plan it out accordingly so that you have like an order of the shots, so you don't just run out of generation parts. And while you're doing that, also think of in terms of telling a story, it's how the camera is moving through the scenes, right? So you see how the buildings have changed the color. So maybe now that you see this color of the building over here, think of how you want to switch cameras, because you have an opportunity to do that. And also be intentional in the kind of vehicles that are being used so that there's consistency. So this bus is kind of more consistent with this one. But when you look at this shot right here, the characters and the buildings and the vehicles are more cartoony, right? And there's the shallow depth of field compared to this one. So things like that, as you're moving through your characters, as you're putting them together, just keep in mind what this shot is how it's gonna progress. Think of yourself again as a cinematographer. You are a director of photography, and you're thinking of how you're gonna capture these different shots of the characters that are in your scene, in your story, right? So let's go back to Dream Machine and see if we have any shots that are successful. Okay, guys, so we have a first successful shot of Milo, and look at that. There's Milo, and he's like talking. But think about it, guys. This was done using ChatGPT together with Luma Dream Machine. And look at the character blinking nicely. The eyes are wiggling. And this is a rectangular shot, 16:9 aspect ratio. And this is the prompt. Camera smoothly zooming in slowly to focus on the mouse. Character, the little mouse is smiling towards the camera. Now there's a little slight smile right here, but this was all generated by Luma. You know, think about that. With I'm still thinking about the copyright issues, but think if this didn't have copyright issues, right? And we could like maybe have your own style that you're able to put in here. Think of how much time this would save you. Like this shot, it's animated, it looks 3D, it's lit, like subsurface scattering in the ears, the whiskers are being like maintained, and the little outfit is animated as well. It's almost like it has cloth physics as well, slightly subtle cloth physics. But this is what Luma Dream Machine can do, guys. This is what blew me away. Now, given the challenges that I encountered in maintaining the consistency, that's where I think things are gonna get interesting. Once these platforms get more consistent with keeping the character the same, short to short, it's gonna be amazing what we're gonna be able to create with our stories. You, as a story or a storyteller, now your whole world is going to open up to how you're going to be able to create stories. Start with this and maybe have this modeled somewhere so that you can have characters. And again, I have to keep harping on this. Copyright. Be very careful, because a lot of this is not going to be, you won't be able to copyright it because it's probably drawing from a data set that is already drawing from IP, for example, Pixar, DreamWorks and things like that. But as you're putting your together your story, as you're writing it, and again, could be that this is part of, again, another data set that is copyrighted out there from how some of the content was gathered, the story, the way it was written. Someone may have already written a character called Milo, so you may actually need to go through and change the name, right? But overall, this is what I was able to create with this, and this is very, very, very it's incredible in terms of how it's able to do that. This shot, you would have had to model the character, do the texture mapping, the lighting, the dressing up the character, and this would have taken you days, if not weeks, guys, to be able to get like to a level of this quality. But to be able to see where Gen AI is headed, and to see that Luma Dream Machine, you're able to do this, I think it's mind-blowing, and I can see where the trend is going to be. But this character, I feel fuzzy looking at him. I don't know where he came from. I didn't make him. I just wrote a prompt, but it's how he makes me feel, I think. And ultimately, it's the story itself. And so if you're able to capture consistently the story of, for example, here, Milo going to the city. And now our story, the way it started out, was supposed to be, once upon a quiet corner, lived a blind mouse named Milo. Now, our mouse doesn't look blind. He looks like he can see, right? So maybe I should have indicated that he had maybe glasses or something like that, or something. But he looks like he can see, and he's looking around, right? So context, story, and then be able to create like convincing shots with the rules of the world being maintained. We'll be able to get to a level of this caliber, right? Let's go back and see if that other shot has been created. So here comes another one. The vehicles are animated, right? That is really cool. And so this, I think I should have told the camera to pull up and focus on Milo's face instead of just the torso right here. But overall, it was able to create like ambient, like secondary animation with the vehicles, and even the depth of field is maintained with the vehicles. So guys, that's what I wanted to share with you about Dream Machine, Luma Dream Machine. Of what, I mean, you can see these things here, some examples of what the other people have created, but guess what? You can try it out yourself. Try out with the consistent character GPT, and try it out with ChatGPT and write the story, and then use the consistent character GPT, fast and high quality one, to generate the shots, and then plan it out, right? Use the story as you're planning out the shots so that you're able to then go to Luma Dream Machine and be able to generate the shots. And be intentional, like be mindful of the shots that you're going to be creating, because it does take, every generation takes away from the generations that you're left with. So you can easily run out of these quickly. So maybe you decide to upgrade your account so you have more generations, but this is what you're able to do without Midjourney. This is all with ChatGPT, I believe with DALL-E, and this consistent character generation. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Again, we're talking about how I was able to create this little guy right here, animated using ChatGPT together with a Luma Dream Machine, and walking you through the process of how I was able to bring it to life. So it's amazing what this technology can do, but I can't help think about the jobs that will be lost. Animators, riggers, concept artists, right? But then on the other hand, people who have stories who don't have the capability to be able to bring their stories to life. So it's like a balancing act, right? And even for us as artists and storytellers or filmmakers, being able to just get your story out of your brain, just to get a sense of this, right? And then be able to create maybe original IP, but paying attention that there are copyright minefields out there that you have to be aware of. So thank you guys for joining me today. Again, thank you for subscribing to my channel. And as always, dare to dream big. May we continue to dream, not let our dreams be hampered by what's happening on the landscape. Let's continue to explore these technologies, see how we can harness them, utilize them to bring our stories to life. And also, I'm always praying for you guys. Please stay safe. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you, guys. What an amazing time to be alive. Scary, yes, but it's incredibly amazing at the same time. Bye for now.